All right, welcome out to the Pirates Cove podcast. It's Wednesday again, Wednesday evening. I've got my sidekick Johnny Zavala with me, like he always every Wednesday. Johnny, how you doing this evening?
Doing good, doing good, doing good.
All right, but we just finished podcast talking to our Rockport-Fulton Lady Pirates softball team. Now we have two of our athletes from our Rockport-Fulton Pirate baseball team here with us. We have outfielder number 9, John Chupe. John, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
And we also have right field and pitcher number 11, Ean McPherson. Ian, how are you doing?
Doing great.
All right. Well, thank you guys for taking some time to come on the podcast and so that the community can get to know our boys, what they're doing in baseball. We're doing a lot of things in baseball. I want to congratulate you guys before we get started. Rockport, the Pirate baseball team, will be going to the postseason. They have made the playoffs. They got a few games left, 2 district games left, I believe. That they need to win. It's for seeding purposes, I believe. But no matter what happens, they'll be going to the playoffs, and that's exciting. Last year, of course, there was no season, and these boys have played hard this year, and we look forward to our boys getting into the playoffs and making some noise in the playoffs. So it's great to have them here, and we hope we continue to have two more next week. So, Johnny, I'll go ahead and pass it over to you so you can start the question with our boys.
All right, boys. In case you didn't know, Gabriel, you picked two boys that I know very well. John Chupe's a cousin of mine, and Ian, I coached way back in the day. I believe it was Coach Pitch back in the day. So
Wow.
I never did tell you this, but yeah, you picked like the perfect two I already knew before. But anyway,
Awesome. That's awesome.
I'm gonna go on with the questions. John, what do you do before a game? Is there any kind of thing that you do on a regular basis? Any kind of superstitious stuff, or what do you do before a game?
I mean, baseball's always full of superstitions. Before every game, if it's home games, we usually like to play some fungo golf. Just get the blood flowing a little bit. Usually, I always get Taco Bell before, just because just feed myself a little bit. And we also have like a little ritual we do to just get our bodies relaxed with Coach Tootie in the cages. We just relax, stretch out a little bit, and then after done with warm ups, we always put our uniforms on, and then get our little eye black on, and a little wrist wraps, just other stuff, to accessories, so we feel comfortable playing in.
What about you, Ian?
I mean, going off what he's playing fungal golf for the game and ritual for the game, I do the same thing as well. But other than that, the only thing I could say is I try to wear the same pants.
John, why do you play baseball?
I've always been playing baseball my whole life. I started, back in t-ball, and I've always just excelled in it, and I love the feeling has it because it's always up or down. Baseball comes in. There's many different ways the game could plan out. You never really know what's expected, as in other games, and you just got to be on most of the time. And playing baseball is just another way to just be active in my life.
What about you, Ian? Why do you play baseball?
Uh, ever since I played baseball, I always played baseball. So that's interest in me to play baseball. Since then, I've played.
Hmm. So, John, you play you say you play center field. Uh, what do you like about playing center field?
Center field is like kind of I say like the commander of the outfield. You got to be communicative. We're always loud. We talk it up. We always got to pick the left fielder, right fielder up, even the whole players like the shortstop and second baseman. Sometimes I can communicate with them, and I just got to make sure that everybody knows what they're doing. And I really like that feeling because I'm proud to know that coach trusts me at that spot. And then, I like the fact that the pitchers can rely on me to track down a lot of balls in the outfield and then rely on the left fielder and right fielder as well.
I'm elaborate on what you just said about covering up the whole outfield. When I went to, I hadn't gone to much baseball games. My daughter played softball, so the field's a lot shorter. The base is a lot shorter. Uh, so the first time I got to see all this year was at Whataburger Field, and man, I look out there, I'm like, man, that's a lot of ground out there to cover in that field. So man, that does it is a big step to be playing on a big field like that, or any field in the outfield. I'm gonna go ahead and pass it on to you, Gabriel.
All right, gentlemen. So I've got a few questions for you guys. The first one that I have is for both of you guys. Just talk a little bit about your experience playing for Rockport-Fulton this year, and what's it like to play for Coach Elizondo? I know that he's been at the school here for a few years now. I think last year, if mine serves correct, is that it was first year as the head man here for the baseball team. Of course, COVID took that, so this is his first full year, and he's having a remarkable season. So if you guys can just kind of talk a little bit about this year's season and what's it been like for both of you to play for Coach Elizondo. Ian, you can go first.
Well, the season started off a little rough for me. After the season started getting going, just fell right into place. And so far, playing with Coach Tudy, like I said, off a little rough, but the relationship started to build, and it's starting to become.
That's awesome. John?
I have all respect for Coach Tudy, and I love the way he coaches and brings what he does to the table. I feel like he always puts his best foot forward, which makes us build on as a team. And for the team wise, everybody is good at where they are. Everybody has responsibilities, no matter what it is, and everyone knows that they can rely whenever someone else comes in to take another spot, and everyone just does their job.
Man, that's awesome, guys. That's really awesome. My next question is, as you guys know, we opened it up to the community so that they could ask you guys questions, so they wouldn't just come from me and Johnny. So we do have three questions from the community for both of you guys to answer. And the first one would be, who was your biggest influence growing up? John, I'll go to you first.
My biggest influencer, I'd have to say, would be my dad. He's the one that really got me going into baseball. Ever since T-ball, I was always working with him. And then, in Coach Pitch, through all the way, basically my whole entire Little League career, he was always right there with me every step of the way. And he just always made sure that I stayed focused on what I was doing and made sure that, I can be held accountable for the things I do.
Ian?
And I would have to say that it was both of my parents. Even when I started, if I would get discouraged or anything like that, they were always behind me, telling me to keep going, keep fighting.
Question number two from the community. When did you find the love of the game? Ian, I'll go to you first.
I probably found the love of the game. I would say probably the first year in Little League. I saw the first pitch. I just fell in love.
That's awesome. John?
I would say my love started in Coach Pitch because we made a little run in the Little League playoffs that we have, and it was a little fun. And then it really got me excited to always look forward to the next year and see how much farther we can go, and always be improving on the sport.
Man, that's awesome to hear. And the last question from the community, who would you say you model the game after? It can be a professional athlete or a teammate. John, I'll go to you first.
I'll do a professional athlete. Mike Trout, he's one of the best outfielders there is. I really like the way he, his teammates know that he'll get the job done. He covers a lot of grounds, makes amazing catches left and right, and I just hope that whenever my teammates see me, they know that I try to do my best and to always get the ball.
Awesome. Ian?
And I would have to say the same person I did. Mike Trout. He's just an athlete and proves himself every time he's on. He's one of
Good pick, guys. Good pick. So I will go to you guys. Um, John, it's just an observation. You were talking, Johnny was talking earlier about Whataburger and center field. I'll tell you, I went to go see the Sympton game. Um, it was a great game. I knew it was going to be a good game. Sympton is a powerful team. They've been good for years, and they're good this year. They're ranked. And that game that I saw, man, you guys, man, it was just a great game. Um, and one of the things I saw in that game was they hit the ball out to you a lot of times. You cover a lot of ground. I mean, you were sliding out there, diving for balls, and you were coming up with them. I knew you had speed, but it's just amazing to get that jump and be able to get that ball because if it gets past you, it's over. There's no one behind you, right? So that game that I saw, I just want to tell you, man, that speed that you have is definitely it's a plus because you've got to cover a lot of ground. From where I'm sitting, I'm looking and I'm saying, man, I don't know how he's going to do it. But you get that jump start and you get it out there. And in that game, it was just remarkable to see the speed that you had to be able to track that ball down and catch it before it hits the ground. So I just kind of wanted to let you know what I observed in that game. Um, Ian, I would like to talk to you about the game that you guys had against Westosa, the second go around. It was played on the 16th of April, right? So you guys take the win 10-0. In that game, you went 2 for 2. You scored 2 runs. Can you just kind of elaborate a little bit on that game? Do you remember that game?
Yes, sir.
Just talk about the big game that you had because you went 2 for 2 and scored 2 runs.
Yeah, in that game, that was the first time in a while that I've got to play a whole game. So my main to be able to prove myself, and I felt that every at I had, I made something of it, and just bring run or it just is complicated me.
You had a good game with a big win, so that was good for us. Johnny, I'll throw it back over to you. You got some questions for the guys?
Yeah. Ian, when you're on a pitcher's mound, what goes through your head?
Well, when I'm on the mound, the biggest thing is telling myself to stay calm, stay relaxed, because the moment you get tensed up and you start to hit questions with umpire or yourself, it goes in that doubt. So I try to just keep telling myself to stay relaxed. I know if I can do that, I can do.
Do you? No, I'll skip that. John, what's your most memorable game, John? And I'm talking about baseball, not football.
Yeah, I'll say my most memorable game, baseball wise, would be the game to send us into the state tournament during our last year in Little League, the junior division, and it was just an amazing sectional tournament in general. We got to play here in Rockport, hometown, and we had to beat the ranked seed. We had to beat them twice in a row because they went undefeated all the way to the championship. And then in the last moments, we had one of our players hit a walk off base hit, and that was just the most hype and most amazing feeling I've ever felt on the baseball diamond.
That just shows what Rockport has as far as baseball goes. Y'all are a young team, and man, y'all gonna hit those tournaments again. I think this district's a strong district, and I think y'all will go deep into the playoffs. Yeah, so that tournament's that experience playing back there in Little League is going to help improve y'all already know what it takes to get beyond basically a state tournament bracket, so hopefully y'all get there. Y'all get pretty far. I'm expecting that. uh Ian, going back to you on the pitcher's mound, what is your favorite pitch?
I would have to say my favorite, my knuckleball.
You got a knuckleball.
Yeah.
I like to see it myself. I like to see you get me. That's all I got for you, Gabe.
That just may happen, Ian. That just may happen. Have you guys had the alumni game yet already?
No, sir. I'm not sure if it's canceled or if we're still having
Okay.
on it.
I got a few more questions for you guys. John, this is just a question that just popped up in my mind. So when I went to go see you guys play in that, I think it was well, it was a Quero tournament, but I think we went to Yoakum. I was really impressed. It's the first time I'd seen the team. I knew that this team was very young. Like I said earlier, last year's team was senior heavy. So you're talking about 5 to 6, I believe, freshmen that are playing. Ace, Jordan Gibson, Javi Vela, Isaiah Lizondo. Maybe there's a couple of others that I'm sorry if I didn't mention names, but there are some freshmen on this team, and they're playing big for you guys. Um, what is it? What have these guys meant to the success of the team? That you guys, the success you guys are having this year? Because the games that I've seen, they're playing big roles. You guys are needing these guys, and they're coming up big. What has it been like to have these guys as freshmen come up and play big for the team?
Freshmen, varsity, that's an amazing thing to all the players that made it. And they're always going to play with a little, thing about themselves because they don't want to let nobody down. And especially the older guys. And we always pick them up, baseball, had to have a quick mind about things. And just, what they do is amazing for the age. You can really tell the playing difference that they have. You know, they're just confident in themselves, and I think that makes the team a little bit more confidence in them. And then they always got to show the best that they prove.
Well, I'll tell you this, guys. You two are coming back. Carson's coming back. The pitching's coming back. These guys will have 1 year under the belt next year. So when I looked at that roster after that tournament, I saw, who was coming back next year. You probably think losing 2 seniors, if I'm correct. So this whole team is coming back. And so it's been impressive to see all you guys and what you've done and what Coach Elizondo has done in a short period of time that he's had, to coach you guys. But the one thing that's also impressed me is you guys haven't really gone on a losing streak. And I saw that early on the season. You lose one, you win one. You get in a tournament, you lose one game, next game, boom, you win it. You lose, by 6, 7 points, boom, next game you win it by 10 points. So I'm like, wow, looking back at that schedule, it's been 2 games in a row. You haven't gone on a 3, 4 game losing streak. And to me, that's amazing. Because when I saw it, when I see you guys, it looks like you guys are just playing freely. It's no pressure. You just go out there. We're young. We're probably not supposed to be here, but you're making a name for yourself. And it's just awesome to see. I'll tell you, when I was walking out of the Sympton game, walking next to some guys from Sympton, and they were talking. And they said, man, that picture was good. I mean, they were really good. I didn't think that they expected to see us give them a game like we did. And I was just kind of walking and hearing them. A lot of respect that a lot of those fans in Sydney had for our baseball team. And you guys are scary because you're young. Like Johnny said, the whole team basically is coming back next year. It's just going to be exciting to see what you guys can do this year, next year, and beyond because a lot of these guys are going to be around for a few years. So it's just good to see you guys in the playoffs. And congratulations again. I'll be at that game on Friday to record that game against Ingleside. Hopefully, we get to win, and I'll be able to get an interview with Coach Elizondo. But again, congratulations, guys, on the season. It's a great season so far. Um, John, I'd ask this question to you. Talk to us about not having a baseball season last year. I know you were on the team. You guys, I think, started off, but then it ended. What was it like for you guys not to have a baseball season last year?
Last year was pretty miserable all around because we really got something going. We were able to play one district game, and we were able to get a really good win. It's always good to start 1-0 in district, and all the tournaments we played in. We had our ups and downs, but everyone always picked each other up. We knew that team would finish stats and that they're always going to show the young kids, what they did wrong, what they did right, and everything was going smoothly and practice and everything. And that team just had a lot of potential, and it really hurt that we weren't able to finish the season.
Well, I'll tell you this: you guys are back this year. That's for sure. People know that. Ian, I'll have a question for you. I talked about the 1-0 loss to Sympton. Um, they're coming back here next week to play at your house. What would a win against Sympton mean to you, Ian?
To me, it would really prove to everyone that we young team, we have the potential to go some playoffs, and just you have committed players that is not gonna make us back down at all.
Well, I'm excited. I'm excited getting to the playoffs. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna buy me a shirt. I'm gonna buy me a playoff shirt and wear it to your first playoff game. I'm telling you that. Johnny, you probably gonna buy one too. Um, so I got two more questions for you guys. And this is for both of you. What would uh, what does making the playoffs this year mean to the both of you? John, I'll go to you first.
Now, making the playoffs this year is a really cool thing to have under your belt. And it means that all the hard work we have done this whole season, throughout the tournaments, throughout the long practices, short practices, the everything, even mental practices where we just gotta get things right. Individual stuff. It just shows that everything we worked for is paying off, and we got to make a statement for it.
Ian?
And I would have to agree with the thing. I think that just goes to show everybody that even though we're a young team, we can make it to playoffs well in playoffs. But for the team, if you have the skills to be in the playoffs.
Absolutely, gentlemen. Absolutely. And my last question to you guys would be this. Both of you are athletes. You play multiple sports for the school. I would ask, when you're not, and I don't know if you're never not, right, but when you're not working out, playing a sport, what other hobbies do you guys have that are not sports related? Ian, I'll go to you first.
I would have to say on the little downtime that I have, having anything to do with being a sport, I would say it's just playing video, trying to rest my body and enjoy.
Awesome. John?
It always seems that I'm always hanging out with the same people, like my teammates. But other than that, I say, I watch a lot of TV, just have in my downtime, just catch up on homework I've always missed. But, sometimes here and there I can go fishing if the weekend allows it with my dad. And, we have a really great bond, especially with my whole family. They're always going to be here. We eat dinners together all the time and barbecue out almost every other weekend. That's just hang out with family is what I used to do.
That's awesome, guys. That's really, really awesome. Johnny, do you have anything else for the guys?
I do. It just popped in my head. Uh, so a lot of the community don't know about this, and I want to hear y'all's side of view of this. So what's this little prank that y'all have with the softball team going on? Tell us about it, John. Or one of y'all. Either one of y'all.
Started with the softball team. They got us pretty good. While no one's really expecting it. No one said anything. Obviously, it was a prank. And they forked our field, a bunch of forks, and we just came as a shock, and it was surprising. And the whole baseball team was like, we got to get them back, and we were just able to, it's a fun thing to do. It's great that both teams have like a bond like that. Both coaching staffs are together. It just shows how connected the community is as a district. I mean, as a school, and just shows that even through all the hard work we do, we're able to have some fun in it.
Ian, you have anything to say on that?
The only thing I would have to say, be ready for next year.
I like the little video y'all made though. That was a cool little video. Yeah, John explained it perfect. I mean, it's you got to have fun, and the only way you can be successful is have fun. I love that. Between the both of y'all, so I just had to throw that in there, just bring it up.
Anything else, Johnny?
Yeah, that's all I have to say.
All right, guys. So before we end the podcast, like I said, your parents, I asked your parents to give me some info, some background on you guys for our community. They did. So I'm going to read out what your parents sent to me. Ian, I'm going to start off with you first. Ian started playing baseball when he was 5 with Pony League. He went from Pony League to Little League. He was on the team that won district and region. He was catcher at doubleheader that won region. They went on to play for division, Tyler, Texas for state. Their season came to an end. What a ride. He started on varsity baseball when he was a freshman. He started on JV and was brought up to fill in here and there. He did not see much playing time on varsity. He really started playing more his sophomore year. He has played football since he was 5. He started with flag football. He fell in love with football, the thrill of the tackle. He has never stopped. He started playing varsity football his sophomore year. He was uh he was the starting center. His freshman year, he was called up during the playoffs. He has played basketball in middle school and as a freshman. He started powerlifting his sophomore year. He is really into it. His dream is to get to the state or to get to state. In football, his junior year, he was starting offensive lineman. I think he was a guard. Next year, senior year, do not know what it'll bring, but Ian will be ready. They were Junior League Texas East Section 4 champions. They were playing for sectionals when their season ended. I'll add this. Let me get this right. They won Junior League Texas East District 29 champions and then went on to become Section 4 champions and then went to state for baseball. That's awesome, Ian. And I look forward to watching you play football next year. John, I'll go to you next. John began playing baseball at the age of 3. He made the All Star team every year he played with Pony and Little League. Throughout his years of playing the game, he has pitched, played shortstop, third base, second base, outfield, and catcher. So basically every position except first base. In his last year of Little League, his team were the district and region champions. They competed in the East Texas Little League State Championship. John was a starter as a freshman on the JV baseball team, played a few varsity games as well. Corona stole the 2020 season where he was a varsity starter. This year, he's back on the field as a starting center field. In addition to baseball, John also plays football. He was 8 years old the first time he played and fell in love with the game. He scored numerous touchdowns the many years he's played. He was the only starter on the varsity playoff team his freshman year. He has the most rushing yards on the team last season. John also plays defense on the club ball with a team from Houston named Team Texas Elite. He is the starting cornerback and has traveled with the team to play tournaments in Las Vegas, Phoenix, and New Orleans. Every Sunday, he travels to Houston for practice. Sometimes he meets with an agility coach in Houston to put in extra work before coming home. He's been extended an invitation to try out for the U.S. national football team and was invited to 7-on-7, a tournament in Hawaii. Not sure if John will attend due to the COVID. John also runs track, is in powerlifting. The relay team he runs with qualified for area this year. Not only a great athlete, he is a great student. John is in the top 13% of his class and was named Student of the Week month a few times back in Fulton Learning Center and in middle school. John plans to attend a 4-year university. This is awesome, guys, to see the work that you guys are putting in, the success that you're having, and what it shows the underclassmen, the junior high and elementary kids, our youth. Hard work pays off. You put the time in, you'll get the results you want. But you got to put the time in. And as you know, I've been in Rockport all my life. This last few years, I mean, you guys were in junior high, getting into high school. Our football team has excelled in the playoffs. Our volleyball team has been to the playoffs a couple of rounds, like the football team. Our boys basketball team been to playoffs the last few years. Look what our basketball girls did this year. The JV team on that girls also winning district. Look at what our baseball team's doing. Our softball girls, look at the success they're having. Our girls soccer team went into the playoffs few rounds. Our soccer boys, it's just a great time to be a part, and it's showing that it's just not one sport or two. It's all sports. We got great coaches here that are pushing you guys. They're connecting with you guys, and they're showing you guys that they're leaders, showing you guys hard work pays off. You put the time in the weight room, you come out and do the things you need to do. You're going to be a success on the field, and as a fan of Rockport, once a pirate, always a pirate, right? It's great to go out there and see you guys and cheer you guys on to get into the playoffs, to one day get that state title, bring it back to Rockport. It's just great. We got a bunch of great athletes, and I just want to say thank you for coming out, spending some time with us here on the Pirates Cove. I wish you guys much success in the last two regular season games against Ingleside and Sympton. And I'll be there for the first playoff game to be recording. But it's just been a great season for you guys. Hopefully, we'll get into a couple of rounds in the playoffs. But this is still a very young team. And so, for all you guys, come on out. It's exciting to watch these boys play. They'll all be back next year. Next year should be better than this year. But come on out. They got two games left. I think it's one in Ingleside on Friday. And then they've got a home game against Sympton. It should be really good. And then we'll ride with them into the playoffs to see what we can do. But once again, guys, thank you very much for coming on, spending some time with us on the Pirates Cove. Johnny, I'd ask before I give the boys a final word, anything you want to add?
Just good luck for the rest of the season, guys. Just good luck, man.
Ian, I'm going to give you and John the last word. Anything you want to say before we call it a night?
I just want to say thank you for the to be able to speak on this, and I very much appreciate it.
Thank you for coming on, sir. John?
Yeah, I was gonna say a big thank you and shout out to the community. For those questions that they have. It feels good to know that other people watching this, and we're get to be part of it.
Absolutely, guys. And I'm sure once football season comes, I don't know if you're aware, but the Pirates Cove is looking to continue at next school year. We'll take a little break during the summertime. Well, actually, there's another podcast called the Gridiron 64. We get ready for football. So soon as softball and baseball season over, we're jumping into the Gridiron 64 where we will be talking about football. So once football season starts, we'll definitely be sending an invitation to your parents to have both of you back on and talk some football. Until then, guys, thank you for coming. Have a great night. Good luck on Friday against Ingleside. Hopefully, we can get the win. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the playoffs. And like we do here on the Pirates Cove, as we end, Johnny, what do we do? Peace out, brothers. Have a good one.
Thank you.